like this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people around the world. This is ETS bus 2019-2020. New Flyer Excelsior 40-foot low floor bus unit of 7137 on Fort Capilano here in Edmonton, Alberta. It's the bus I had rode before on the 74 Millwoods Town Centre last spring. And this is the bus I had filmed on the Fort Capilano many times before and after they got the mail announcements installed. Enjoy the bus ride. Please do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and enjoy the show. That's my YouTube introduction too.
You got a YouTube channel.
This is what Brian Thinks Adventures, my friends. And you should see my subway videos in Toronto. You would love it.
Oh, nice.
You would love our Bloor Danforth line. Our T1s. I used to ride them with my Auntie Paula, my mom, when I was a kid. They move quick.
Probably.
If you want to switch at any of the cars, you have to make sure you're on the platform. You can't do it when the train's moving.
Yeah.
But on one of our Go trains in the double-decker cars, you can, because they have the sliding door, allows people to go through, even before or after it moves. So you can switch cars instead of waiting on the platform. The LRT, you have to stay in one place. Same with the Go train and the streetcar. Are you guys doing Christmas shopping?
No, we're just doing like regular shopping.
Really? I can't wait for the winter holidays, and I hear New Year's Day's in 6 weeks. In a month and a half from now. Less than 2 months. Do you always do something special for New Year's Day? Like mine's very low key at my place. My mom and I, we usually do a movie.
That's nice.
It's our New Year's Day tradition.
Is there a specific movie you watch every year?
We always go to one in the theaters.
Oh.
Like the one in Windermere.
That's cool.
The one in Windermere or Landmark Theaters in the downtown, or the one in Tamarack. I've been to the new one in Tamarack with my mom and my stepdad. But I don't tell anybody where I live. I like to be kept private on that part.
That's fine, yeah.
But you got the best spot near the back. Same as me. I like to sit by the back door where I can get the middle of the bus. It's so easier too. When it's less people though.
Yeah.
Because I always have to make sure I aim at the window, not if anyone's coming on or off, just they don't go on the camera. Is that a dog fence?
Oh, it's chicken wire.
Chicken wire for the hens.
Yeah. Well, I'm using it with my hamster. That sounds bad.
You have a hamster?
I have a hamster, yeah.
Male or female?
Female.
Oh, hope she likes people.
Well, she's antisocial a little bit.
My cat is very social around people. She's actually a senior cat, so I called my cat Poochie Boo Boo.
Oh,
She's more like a kid to me. I used to have a male cat buddy until he went to kitty heaven 7 years ago, but I loved him like he was my brother and like he was like my sibling. He was a good cat. But I sometimes take pictures of rescue cats in the cat cafe on the south side on Old Strathcona.
Yeah. I always wanted to go there. Is it nice?
Yeah, I like to take pictures of the rescue cats, and that way they can have new family, new members, and new owners to grow with.
So nice.
Right. Well, it's better than that way they're not sad and alone. So that way they'll have lives, a new chapter with their families, and that way they don't have to be sad and alone anymore. But these seats here, they remind me of Calgary Transit. Because the city of Calgary has buses like these with the curves on the seats and the silver handles on top of them. But they don't have pull cords like this one has. But most of them do, and most of them don't. But I have rode in their Nova buses, but I haven't done YouTube videos of their CNG buses. But I like to call it random buses of all kinds. So, New Flyers, Orions, Grand West Vicinities, Nova buses, motor coach buses, and Vero 500 double-decker buses, including...
Were the double-decker buses?
Yeah, in Strathcona County. And I've also rode on the double-decker buses on the GO bus in Ontario as well. I took the GO bus this summer to Niagara Falls when I was visiting my mom and I were visiting my Auntie Paula in Lauderdale. When we were in Toronto for my grandmother and Auntie Hazel's funeral, I took the HSR down to Aldershot and Lauderdale to take the GO train. So I used the Hamilton Street Railway myself. Yeah, I know how to get up and down the mountain safely, both the south side, west and east mountain. But I don't tell anybody what hotel location I stay at because it's my business. So it's between my mom and I and our family. So it's private. But I do like my dignity and privacy, though. So I like to ask people to politely respect that and space. Sometimes most of the buses like this one can be less crowded too. Yeah, sometimes there's not many people at all. Depends on what time of day it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cold out. Not a lot of people want to come outside.
Or let's say on one of the stat holiday weekends too. Not just the winter holidays, but like outside of the winter holidays. Like most buses used for the KDs during the summer, they have to add extra service for the LRT. But they didn't have KDs this year. They switched to Summer Fun Midway. But I decided to wait it off until KDs came back this upcoming summer. Whew. I actually have some friends who drive ETS as well. So some of the bus drivers who know me are Thomas. Casper, he's a bus driver in Sherwood Park in Strathcona County. And some of the other ETS drivers, Matthew and Angelina, are also friends of mine who are also bus drivers. And I like to do Mickey Mouse voices on one of them too. It's like this. Oh, well, thank you, Angelina. And she says, you're welcome, Brian. Every time I film her bus. Yeah, I've been telling her that my mom wants to meet her sometime. Yeah, my mom never gets a chance to, but one day. Yeah, my mom just started a new career and with a new Canadian clothing company based out of Vancouver called Capoche. And I'm also looking for other part-time work. I'm just not going to go back to working in West Ed anymore. Because West Edmonton Mall is too rough for work. So I can't stand the busyness all the time anymore. It gets into my nerves. So in that respect, I'm staying away from that retail industry for good. Retail is too rough.
Customer service, some people can be real mean.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not going to go back to it again, ever. But I do like visiting West Ed for Soundwave, for the World Water Park, because the Soundwave people in the mall security treat me very well. And I'm not like other people. I say no to violence. I say no to bad stuff. Period. So I watch out for myself and other people. I mean, it's a wise thing. You got to be very responsible what you got to do. I'm the same too when I go on the subway, and I'm always very careful. Remembering the same rules as my Auntie Paula, my mom, taught me when I was a kid. You should keep your back against the wall. Stay in the middle of the platform behind the yellow line and between the wall too. And that way you can get on and off the subway safely. And also it's the same at our transfer stations too. I just remain against the wall or in the middle. and then I could just walk to whichever subway car of our T1 trains on the Bloor Danforth, and our Toronto Rockets on our Yonge University line. When I began at one of our biggest transit center areas in the downtown area of Toronto, between the entertainment and financial district, I always began at Union Station. It's like Century Park, but similar. But I gotta say, this bus route, this one's more convenient too, because before the route before it used to go around the corner. But it's more quickly now too. Yeah, I remember this used to be the old routes before, but they don't have the old routes anymore. But I like all the buses ETS gets too. Ooh, this one, he really knows how to move this one quick. Do you ever go on the Proterra buses? They're kind of like dancing musical potato buses. Kind of like rocking around like tweely deely deely dee, tweely deely dee, tweely deely deely dee. Or kind of like the part where like Michael Jackson would sing like, flapping their wings, singing go bird, go, rockin' robin, rock, 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 rockin' robin. I also know how to film the streetcars on the TTC. Yeah, and there's also alternative ways you can go to the Eaton Centre in Toronto as well. So you don't always need to use the subway all the way to Queen or Dundas. You can just take one of the streetcars. Alternative route, so that way you can stick with our university line. You can use Dundas or Queen anytime. But I like to use the streetcars to go back to the same university line that I know. Like the round tunnels of St. Patrick, where I go through not just from St. George, but it's on the way to St. George.
Sounds like you know your way around here.
I've taken the bus here since I was 12. So I started on the south side when I lived near Rideau Park. And when I used to go to school for junior high and senior high school in Alawai Cairns, I walked home from school. So I used to go on the school bus for field trips, and then, but on my last year of high school 9 years ago, I took ETS home all the time till my last month of high school in May of 2013. Yeah. So how old is that hamster of yours? My cat wouldn't like hamsters because the cats will eat hamsters. So my mom says no hamsters in the house.
I think she's 5 or 6 months now.
Very young.
Yeah.
So, she's full of energy.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like Minnie Mouse, see? If you kind of like Road Runner.
And she's an escape artist too.
Like a lure course runner. Yeah. Well, we have dogs in my place. We have Italian greyhounds, and my Auntie Bobby takes the dogs out for dog shows and lure courses. So I'm not home long enough to take care of them properly. So, well, for a couple reasons. One, I have my school schedule, and I'm also looking for other part-time opportunities too. I'm just not going back into retail again, since it's too rough. So I would not work in retail anymore. Yeah, well, it's a wise choice, and because the structure's changing, so I would never go back again. Period. Just stay out of it, because it gets into your nerves if you're worked there too long.
Yeah, now you get to try something new.
Well, it's a new chapter, and so this year I'm trying to find something else what makes more sense for me to be back at my place at a certain time, but a more reasonable time, instead of taking the bus all the way to West Ed for work anymore, as it's not really my cup of tea. But honestly, for the frequent service routes, they should add some articulated buses. Like the ones, because I know the rapid routes have them for the downtown areas, but they should add some for the frequent services too. Like the ones on the south side in particular. And like the ones by the University of Alberta area too. That's always the busiest, because it's hard to keep the distance on the 40-foot buses on the frequent services on the south side, and that's very concerning. They really got to do something. Oh! Holy cow! There's the on-demand transit. I'm going to be staying here. I don't mind staying a few extra minutes. Yeah, I find the plastic seats on the other buses, the 2018 New Flyer Excelsiors, are the worst. It's so hard to keep your back against the seat.